Hello, everyone, and thank you for joining me once again for another edition of the Foolish Fish Esoteric News with your weekly updates on the worlds of esoteric and occult book publishing and arts and events and paraphernalia. I want to thank Miskatonic Books once again for sponsoring the show. Miskatonicbooks.com are the #1 international purveyor of esoteric and difficult to find occult books. If they are being printed outside of the US, Miskatonic Books usually get a lot of those in store so that you can buy them. If you're in the US, you can buy them directly from them and cut out the incredibly high shipping costs very often. And they also find difficult to find books that have been out of print for quite a long time. And I was actually telling my wife just this morning about Azoetia and how difficult it is to find a copy of Azoetia nowadays. And there it is, right there on Miskatonic Books' Facebook page, which I really recommend you going to check out, by the way, and just dropping a like so that you are regularly updated on these difficult to find books, which Miskatonic Books somehow managed to find and make available to us. Very, very cool stuff. Now, actually, my first bit of news today concerns Miskatonic Books. Miskatonic Books have been publishing in collaboration with Jack Grail, with in fact Grail Press, which is its own publishing company now. And the first of these little small format books was Lioness by Samuel David, and the second book in this series, I noticed a little 1 on that first book, and I was thinking to myself, oh, this is going to be a series, isn't it? And so this second one, TYPHON by Harper Feist, has just been announced, and it's available as a pre-order right now on Miskatonic Books. As with Lioness, there is a deluxe edition with just 23 hand-numbered full leather-bound copies with an extra hymn in custom slipcase. And there's also, of course, the regular standard limited edition 219 hand-numbered copies quarter-bound in leather and slip-cased. And you can actually just head over to Miskatonic Books and make your purchase right now. But my guess is that the look is going to be very similar to what Lioness was. And if you are not sure what that looks like, then I recommend going to check out my review of Lioness. Those sold out very, very fast. You won't be able to find those at the moment, but yes, I have done a full review of that little jewel. It really is a little jewel of a book. It's a little format. It's about that big. Very, very beautiful book, illustrated by I forget his first name, Cassidy. It's oh my goodness, yeah, I'm not going to be able to find it very quickly, but anyway, Rowan Cassidy, I think his first name is, it's just really lovely imagery, and I recommend going to check that out. There we go. So this will also be illustrated by Rowan Cassidy. Very, very lovely. All right, next we've got news from Anathema Publishing. You remember that last week I was sharing with you the information that the Kickstarter will include some art prints from José Gabriel Alegría Sabogal, and they were asking which one they should publish. And it seems like they're going to be publishing them all. So this will only be available as an add-on, right? So for those of you who missed the information, in the beginning of 2024, right, first quarter of 2024, Anathema Publishing are going to be having a Kickstarter, publishing a book of José Gabriel Alegría Sabogal's work, which is out of print at the moment. It was some of this was originally printed by A and Sophia about a decade ago, and that was completely sold out. And so they're republishing it in addition to other works of José's. And so that's going to be as a Kickstarter alongside a paperback edition of Iao, which was incredibly popular, incredibly well received. and I recommend checking out my unboxing of the artisanal edition of that beautiful, beautiful book. Yes, so it seems like it's not just going to be one or two of the prints that are going to happen, but in fact, any of the 6 prints that they showed us, you'll be able to add any of those to your order, as long as you're buying one of the books, right? So one of the books is going to be your actual pledge, and then the print can be as an add-on. Very, very cool, extremely exciting. These prints are just so gorgeous, right? Really, really lovely, lovely stuff. Ah, yes, that's just makes me happy. Good stuff. And congratulations to Anathema Publishing for managing to seal that deal with the printers. Very, very cool. Good. This blew my mind. There is a new publishing house, folks, in the UK, and it looks, just from the outset like this, it looks like they know what they're doing. And I'm like, whoa, what? This is news from Watkins Books, right? They broke the news today. They're holding the 2 first publications of a new publishing house called AULA, LUCIS or LUCIS, depending on the way you decide to pronounce your Latin. I'm sure that if you've got any MP3s of actual Roman-speaking Latin, then you'll be able to tell me off for my pronunciation. But yes, if you're pronouncing it the Italian way, then Aula Lucis, and it looks like that's a properly textured cover. It doesn't look like it's paper bound, and it looks like it might be Smith sewn. Now, here's the wonderful thing, right? I was just sitting down to start recording this, right? And I was about to reach out and to say, hey, anyone who knows of Aula Lucis, let them know that if they want to send me a copy of either Hermetic Arcanum or Astral Conversations, to reach out to me, because I'll very happily do a review of either of these. And like literally about a minute before I was intending to press on the record button, right? I got an email from one of the designers at Aula Lucis, and asking me if I would like to receive either or both of the books, and to be honest with you, I would love to receive a copy of Arcanum Hermeticae. Looks very, very exciting, very, very nice. So yes, there will be a review coming quite soon. So yes, it looks like they've made a really nice effort on the presentation. The paper is a little see-through from what I can see. We'll see about that, but they assure me that they've really put in a lot of effort to make the books look fantastic. So yeah, hopefully it's not a what do you call it, a perfect bound print on demand, but that's not what this looks like from the outset. It's not what it looks like. We'll see, right? I'm quite excited about this. Right. So yeah, you can actually hop on to, obviously you can order the book directly from Watkins Books. I'll leave links down below to Watkins's web store. And you can also go directly to the publishers, right? And you'll be able to see some information about both of these books. At the moment, their website is only talking about Astral Conversations as a book that has been published. Isn't that beautiful? Maybe I want both. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't that gorgeous? I mean, this reminds me of Scarlet Imprint. I mean, it does. I mean, clearly it's inspired, right? But that's really, really lovely. It's clearly not Scarlet Imprint quality paper. Quality as in the thickness. I mean, I can see through it, right? But it's a nice color. This is very beautiful. Anyway, I'm I'm just going I'm going off on one here. Here we go. Little blurb over here about Astral Conversations. This unusual book is neither fiction nor non-fiction, but combines both genres in a unique way. The main narrative is the record of 12 lively and sometimes humorous conversations between two occult students, overheard clairaudiently by the author. The two I don't know how to pronounce that, interlocutors, or where to put the accent there, Arthur Flitterflop and Joshua Bombast meet in the astral world to discuss many different subjects, including magic masters, conspiracy theories, the Illuminati, aliens, Planet X, ascension, DNA activation, consciousness, dreams, life and after death, Tibetan magic shamans, drugs, channeling, witchcraft, paganism, the tarot, fate versus free will, necromancy, heaven and hell, and much more. I'll be honest with you, these two words here kind of make me go, oh, maybe even aliens, I'm not sure. But even Planet X, yeah, I'm like, well, okay, maybe not for me after all, I don't know. But but probably for many of you out there. And then, yes, so the secondary narrative consists of separate commentaries which follow each of the 12 conversations in the book. A similar format has been used before in print, most notably in the Contes de Gabalis, an occult biography first published in an anonymous English translation of a French novel of ideas in 1670. Possibly interesting, but this is the one that's really caught my attention. This 400th anniversary edition of one of the most important alchemical treatises of the 17th century. This is very exciting for me, and I was very interested also to see that they are intending to print some works of Arthur E. Waite's translation of Paracelsus's work. So that's something that's really missing at the moment on my shelf, and I'll be very excited to see that. Yeah, the Hermetic Arcanum by Jean d'Espagnet. This is really very, very exciting stuff for me. All right, let's move on to more news from Watkins Books, who have started doing gift vouchers. And I think that, we're coming close to Christmas, and I think that many people in our community couldn't dream of anything more exciting than a Watkins Books gift voucher, at least for those of for those of our community who live in the UK or close to London. This is really very, very cool stuff. But of course, Watkins Books have got an online shop, a web store. And you can, if there's anything that you've heard of that's actually not on their web store, because they've got so many books, they've got the biggest collection of esoteric and occult books in the UK, certainly, and probably in Europe, in my opinion. I have certainly never heard of a bigger occult bookstore in the rest of Europe. If there is one, then I'd certainly like to know about it, but I don't think there is. And so they can't have every single book on their web store, but if you've heard of a cool book, you can just call them up or reach out to them on Facebook, and they're very good at responding. And get the books shipped overseas or abroad, right? That's a really, really nice idea. So it seems like you can get these gift vouchers even just by calling them. And so on. Very, very nice. All right. News from Hadean Press. Dreams and Letters is their next upcoming book. This is, as usual, the image from their upcoming paperback, but is the hardcover that is currently being pre-ordered. This collection of two of Paul Sédir's works. Austin Avison introduces Paul Sédir, situating him in the exciting period of societal and cultural changes during the pre-war years in Europe, and provides a translation of dreams, theories, practice, interpretation, and magic letters. So Paul Sédir was connected with Martinism, if I understand correctly. I don't think he was necessarily a Martinist, but he was close friends with the creator of Martinism, Ancus. There we go, Gérard Anacle, Vincent Cos. There we go, better known as Papus. There we are. I recommend just reading the whole blurb. I'm sure that this will be extremely exciting for many of us. I think that Paul Sédir's work is probably underappreciated and underrepresented, and I've got his book of plants. I can't remember what the name of it was. Occult Botany, I think it was. Really very, very cool stuff, and really made me appreciate Paul Sédir's the extent of his knowledge and how useful and valuable his work is. Very, very nice to see this from Hadean Press. Very excited about it. So the hardcover will be bound in heritage buckram with 20th century printed end papers. The hardcover edition is limited to 300 copies. We expect this title to begin shipping in late January. Image shown is the paperback edition, as usual, yes, which will be available on 30th of January 2024, so 1 month later. Very, very nice. Okay, news from David Hyam-Smith. You remember a couple of weeks ago I was saying to you that David Hyam-Smith's series, The Lightning Flash of Aleph, which was his main series of books, right? Those beautiful black hardcover books, has come to an end. He's it's seven books, seven editions, and seven books, 7 volumes, and he is now going to be focusing on paperbacks and print-on-demand paperbacks. And the first one is let me see, the volume 1 is sold out. Goodness gracious me, really? The whole shipment sold in 1 day. I think this is incredible. Okay, I thought it was print on demand though. But that's very cool. I think what he might have been doing is simply just ordering a load of these print on demand books and then sending them out to purchasers, to clients himself. Okay, well, volume 2 is going to be called Calling Forth the Ethers, and volume 3 is well underway. Congratulations on selling out so fast, David. That's really, really cool. Anyway, this is what the new format looks like. David has actually told me that the quality of the prints of his diagrams is very high. It looks really good, and this is really going to allow him to put out all the work that he's doing, because there's a lot of work that he's putting out all the time, and having to wait for hard covers to be made. It just takes too much of his time, too much of a time drain simply, and he's putting out work much faster than he's able to publish them as hardcovers. So yes, these paperback versions are a much more efficient way of him being able to put his work out there for us. Hopefully, the fact that this is paperback and print on demand will mean that this volume 1 will so what am I talking about is literally the next sentence right there. A new shipment shall arrive soon, and we are taking pre-orders. There we go. Each volume will be $20 plus shipping, and they will ship by the end of the month. Nothing stops this train but incapacity or death. There we are. So actually, really, really good news. And if we click over here, and we'll be able to see where you can pre-order the next batch of the first volume. That's another really nice thing, right, about doing some print-on-demand books, is that when the books sell out completely, then it's not a massive effort to get them republished, right? To get them reprinted at least. Very, very cool. All right, let's see what's next. Frater Acher's new book called Trutmezzer. I'm assuming that's a German but not necessarily. I'm not sure what language this would be. A Blade of Two Ways has become available from Three Hands Press, and I'll show you the Three Hands Press page in a second, but for the moment I just wanted to show you some images that he's posted on Instagram of the book itself. It's not a very long book, it's about 80 pages if I remember correctly, so Rowan E. Cassidy again and Delia Vico do the illustrations, and then there's marvelous Marcus McCoy from Troll Cunning Forge, which I feature regularly on the news here, who put the most magical blades into Frater Acher's hands. Right, this looks quite lovely. The book does look like it is paper bound, as in paper. It's just regular boards, right? There's no buckram here. It is just straight up cardboard, but a very beautiful design, of course, and of course being Three Hands Press, the quality is going to be top notch. There we are, and that has already started shipping. Yeah, that's really cool. Very, very nice. Yes, the old German witch knife. I'm assuming that I wasn't too far off the money there by suggesting Trutmezzer might be a German origin name anyway, German etymology. All right, good stuff. And then we've got the Baptist's Head Compendium. So this was 3 books by I forget his name. Alan Chapman, of course, Alan Chapman. So this was 3 books, and these 3 books are being brought together as a single compendium. They've been out of print for a very, very long time, and many people have really appreciated these books. The intimate personal journals of 2 occultists practicing Western magic to achieve the great work. With its humour, honesty, down-to-earth approach extending beyond the cult following that it gained after its original publication in the late noughties, the Baptist's Head Compendium has proved itself a seminal text and indispensable guide to anyone suspicious of or disillusioned by magic purely as a tool for personal power or material gain. It sounds interesting, right? Not just interesting, but possibly important. I like the sound of this. I didn't get to read the original trilogy, and so seeing it published once again or made available once again in this this now collected form sounds like a good thing. There we go. Yes, okay. So that's through Aeon Spirit, and you can buy it directly through their website. I guess it's on pre-order right now. Yes, available in June 2024, so a little way to go to go yet, right? But yes, worth checking out already. Good. A couple of books on Amazon that I picked out here. First of all, the Papyri Copticae Magicae. So this came out actually a month ago already, and I just missed it. The Coptic Magical Texts, Volume 1. These are the formularies. So this isn't the same thing as the Graeco-Egyptian magical papyri. It's but it's in the same collection of papyri. These are papyri that were written between the 4th and the 12th centuries CE. The PGM are between, if I remember correctly, between the 2nd century AD and the 4th century CE. Not AD, BC, BCE, there we go, before Common Era or before Christ. Their texts attest to non-institutional rituals intended to bring about changes in the lives of those who use them. Heal disease, cure enemies. Ah dear. Curse enemies, of course. Bring about love or hatred, or see into the future. Just classic PGM stuff, actually. Okay, so yeah, so these books are not cheap. There's what's the word for it? Academic texts, and academic texts are always, unfortunately, very expensive. Happens to be temporarily out of stock on the Amazon.com, but very easy to find. I'm sure you'll be able to find it elsewhere. I'm pretty sure it's still available on the European Amazons, and yeah, just likely just a short term being out of stock. And then this is the one that really made me very excited. So excited, in fact, that you can see that I bought it from the US Amazon. This is something that I don't normally do, but I would have had to wait for an additional month if I'd bought it from my local Amazon. So I bought it directly from the US and paid like the same amount again in shipping just to get it as fast as possible. This is Near Enemies of the Truth by Christopher D. Wallis, and you probably recognize that name, and that's because he's the author of Tantra Illuminated, one of the most stable presences on my shelf. That book isn't going anywhere. It's absolute must have. It's one of the most important books that I've ever read, and seeing him publish a new book is always exciting. And this is his new book, and it's been out for a month, and I didn't know about it for some reason. And it's as a hardcover, which is very cool. His previous two books were only available as soft covers, so yeah, having a hardcover is nice. Yeah, this is about have you ever been told you create your own reality? Have you been encouraged to be your best self or to follow your bliss? Nowadays, these slogans have been are everywhere, but what if they're doing more harm than good? After over 30 years as a scholar practitioner of meditations and tantric philosophy, acclaimed author Christopher Wallis, also known as Harish, explores the most widespread distortions of spiritual teachings present in our world today. Rooted in the Asian wisdom traditions, Wallis's book uncovers why these oft-heard platitudes are near enemies to the truth, often detour us off the spiritual path, and can even cause unnecessary suffering. In asking us to question what we've accepted as the truth, Wallis reveals how teachings like become the best version of yourself may have helped us at one stage in our journey, but can ultimately lead us away from self-acceptance and compassion, and cause us to prioritize an imagined ideal over true intimacy with reality. Understanding the near enemies is vital for any spiritual seeker who is ready to create a deeper, more fulfilling practice. Will help you do these things. I like the idea that it's actually written in a way that, yes, points to the problems with these platitudes, but also points to alternative ways of understanding, or pointing to the original spiritual truths that these platitudes distorted, right? And I think that that's a very exciting concept. I'm really, really excited to read this one. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's move on to what's next. Etsy Intentions Design Company, who reached out to me with some news that they have some new designs, some new t-shirt designs, which actually look quite nice. And I liked specifically these Christmas, Yuletide, Hanukkah designs, Kwanzaa, solstice designs on the t-shirts. I thought that was quite cool. But as always, I recommend going to check out the rest of their offerings. They've got some really, really nice pendants, jewelry, just talismanic materia. It's all very, very nice stuff. And you might already be rather liking what you see. Got a couple of cool mugs as well. So go, yes, definitely go and check those out. Links down below, as always. And yeah, so this is, let me see, it was Void Monk on the Foolish Fish Discord who pointed me to this website, which is called trishiba.com. Here we go, Trile, artist illustrator. And yeah, there were I was showing you a couple of weeks ago a manual that I'd found for carving the acanthus, which I actually ended up buying, by the way, even though it wasn't possible to ship it to Europe. I found a reseller in Europe that was willing to buy it from the US and pass it on. So yes, I'll probably be doing something with that at some point. But yes, Void Monk pointed me to this website that actually has lots of traditional artist instructions, simply, right? You can see oil painting, scratchboard illustration, Lombardic lettering, which really caught my attention. Decorative lettering, look how beautiful that is. You know, and you can pay so much for full courses, you know, teaching these kinds of skills, and to see it as simply as a PDF for $15, I think that's really lovely. Really, really lovely stuff. What else did I see? Yes, the Lombardic lettering. And these pages just give you an idea of the style of teaching and what kind of practice you can expect to find there. Okay, and then there was, yeah, there are some practice sheets as well. So you see this is just $7 for, excuse me, practice sheets for copperplate practice. So if you're learning to write in copperplate, then yeah, these are practice sheets for you. I think that's really, really cool. I grew up in France, and so in France we learned joined up writing, and we would spend, well, in the 80s, I guess, we would spend just hours and hours and hours just writing a single word, right? Just as an entire line, as an entire page, and then you do another word, and just trying to get your writing as beautiful as possible. And this is kind of like that. It's definitely reminiscent of the kind of work that I was doing in primary school. Yeah, and this is just I guess a slightly older script than the one that I was learning. Very, very nice. Very cool. Anyway, so yes, if you're interested in some of those traditional artist skills, Roman calligraphy, I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's beautiful lettering, that's for sure. Learning ornamental art, the fundamental concepts of the acanthus, also drawing the acanthus and stuff. Yeah, some really lovely stuff. And you can just hop onto manuals over there, and it'll show you all of the manuals that they've got. Copper plate and stuff. Yeah, it just goes on and on, right? So that's really nice. And then my board game of the week is this one. It's called Evenfall, and it seems to be an engine building board game, right? So it's you know, you're building, you're getting new cards that allow you to do more during your turn, right? And you combine the cards to get like really great things that you can do during your turn. And it's basically, it's set in a neo-pagan setting. You've got druids and witches and so on, and the idea is yeah, to become the most successful coven, but success means different things to the different factions and so on, and it's it seems really nice. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time talking about it because I haven't actually played it, but it does actually look like it's been designed by someone who understands a little bit about druids and about witches and about, you know, and these kinds of concepts, who actually understands them, and not somebody who's just taken the look and applied it onto a board game. And that's nice. That's good stuff. And the artwork is gorgeous, isn't it? Really, really lovely artwork. From what I've heard, it's not too complicated, and it's a lot of fun to play. So that's good. That's good. There we go, folks. That's what I've got for you this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to have a one-to-one conversation with me, then the video chats are still available. You can just click on the link down in the description, and yeah, pick one of the times when I'm available from the chart on my website. And we can have a one-to-one conversation about whatever you like, actually, really whatever you like. But I can read your tarot. We can talk about where you are in your spiritual practice, and if there are any recommendations that I can make that are very specific for your situation, then that's what we can talk about, and so on and so forth. It's usually a lot of fun. What else? If you would like to support the channel, then there's a Patreon. Appreciate everyone who supports me so much, and thank you so much for keeping the channel alive. Patrons get various perks like access to the Foolish Fish Discord, and seeing my Saturday videos 1 week before everyone else, and many other things. And yeah, and I'm going to wish you all a very lovely week. I hope everyone's very well. I hope that you're all staying healthy and happy. And I'll see you very soon with another video. Take care of yourselves and of each other. See you soon. Bye-bye.